self-serving, persuasive talkers
of everything and nothing.
We are Conversation Con Artists. What's going on, people? It's your boy, Mr. On Point.
And I feel like I need to say that I don't hate white people. Because I don't hate white people, but by the end of this episode, you might be questioning it. Also known as Calamity Red.
And we are Conversation Con Artists, back for a fantastic episode. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Mr. MISTER_on point.
And I can be found at red_calamity. Also, we are still doing the listener letter portion of the show. So if you have a question you'd like for us to answer on the show, you can write us on Gmail, conversationconartists@gmail.com, or you can find us on Facebook, Conversation Con Artists, and send it to us that way. We have a couple of letters.
We got letters. We got letters from all of our writing MVPs. That is Tag, Colin, and Michael. Appreciate y'all. But we are looking forward to that next person who we've never heard from to send us that letter.
Indeed.
Send us something. ConversationConArtists@gmail.com, the Conversation Artist our Facebook page, Con Artist Facebook page, or you can hit up one of our social medias that we mentioned to do that. I'm just going to reinforce the idea that we have a lot of race-related dialogues, and it does indeed evoke negative dialogue about white people. But if it's negative and it doesn't apply to you, then you're not white people. You're reasonable people.
Yes.
This isn't about every single white person. This is about the people that indeed have the attitudes and the behaviors that we are speaking about. So just want to make sure y'all know and understand that, because Michael actually in one of his letters brought up something that we said about white people. Well, I said about white people,
but it goes along with what
we'll get to it. We're gonna start with Tag because he made it first. Red on Point, what's up? This is commentary on the debates. Marianne Williamson has, beyond a shadow of a doubt, secured Gwyneth Paltrow's vote, if nothing else. If that ain't the goop, trademark, gooptest sounding woman in the whole Democratic field, good Lord. I want her to be Secretary of State just to see what might happen when she starts spinning all that white hotep stuff abroad. She's going to send a foreigner dictator a yoni egg as a gift. I don't know anything about Andrew Yang besides his proposal for UBI, and he seems to know everything about that and nothing about anything else. He looked very bored, like a stoner whose mom made him go to the debate. I rank Kamala Harris in the I guess category for the nomination. Her being a so-called cop, as people have been putting it, isn't ideal, but it can be overcome. I'm not extremely hung up on that, and I think she can bring more nuance to that area than her past might suggest. I don't have any jokes for her. Elizabeth Warren is my preferred candidate. Joe needs to hang it up. Bernie needs to hang it up. Mayor Pete, he can get a cabinet position. Harris, Warren, Harris, 2020. Oh, and Beto, child, please. P.S. How y'all manage to squeeze meat into every episode?
You would have to ask On Point that.
It's possible.
Because he's the one that
I just want you to know it's possible. And it will be done when it can be done.
I don't have anything. One, I would like to say that Tag, you and I need to watch the debates together, because I feel like it's boring, but I feel like watching it with you would be hilarious because your commentary is fucking hilarious.
As it pertains to meat coming in every episode, for you, Red, I'm going to quote John Wick. You will do nothing because you can do nothing.
I hate you so much.
I just want to make sure you know that.
I'm aware. I'm very aware.
Marianne Williamson was definitely crazy. That is a really good assessment of Andrew Yang, to be honest. He don't know anything else about anything else. He's trying to be very relatable in all his interviews and all of his stuff. He's just trying to be relatable. But UBI seemed to be the only thing that I've ever heard him talk very deeply, confidently about. And that's a president needs more than that. As far as Kamala Harris goes, the biggest mistake she made with her time in the justice system is choosing it from the very beginning. I don't think we can blame a black woman who started participating in the good old boy system and start measuring what she should have done while she was in that system. That's irrational. Like, that's not looking at the reality of what it looks like for a black officer, let alone a black woman, to be in that world. She can't make legislative moves. She can't tell all these chiefs they can't do this or that. Maybe she could choose what she prosecutes, but how much trouble is she gonna start having with judges and all of these other people? Like that, her biggest problem was that she, as a black woman in America, chose to go into the law enforcement. After that, whatever happened is what happened to black folks in any of these good old white boy systems. And I don't think she should be penalized for how little she did when she was in that system for black people. I don't think she should be penalized for, I think she was charging parents for truancy. If children were truant, that the parents were at risk of going to jail. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't think she should be penalized for these things. I think the intention was fine behind some of the stuff she did, but like the biggest mistake she made was choosing to go into that shit at the beginning. But everybody gets to choose what they want to do. I really like Elizabeth Warren. She just got a lot of plans. I don't know how much that Native American thing gonna hold her back, but I think Trump would be looking forward to running against her because he got a lot of names for her and he's just gonna talk shit. But
like a fucking child.
He don't have a name for Kamala yet. Joe Biden, Kamala and Warren are actually like neck and neck with Biden now after the debate. But Biden kind of pulled back out after he had that one-on-one interview. What they're saying is that with Chris Cuomo, what they're saying is that Biden's just going to do better on the one-on-one interview circuit than debates because the issue with Joe Biden is he don't want to fight nobody. Like, he got relationships with everybody up there. Like, he really don't want to, like, go at nobody like that. And so he's not going to do well at debates. Even when he was getting roasted, he didn't even want to go against, you know, what they were saying. And his interview was good, but it was good in the context that he's an old man that's been doing this for a long time that can point to isolated moments in his record where he did some good shit. And he know how to speak. But I don't want Joe. But Joe very well may happen. Anyway, I appreciate you for sending that letter in, Tag.
Thanks,
I know Red ain't got shit to say about politics.
I really don't.
So appreciate you for sending that letter in, Tag. Colin, my man. The title of his email is Meat-Based Diet. Colin is a part of the reason that meat be in these episodes.
Like, Colin, I expect
for
better.
That, big ups to you, my guy.
No, I expect better of you, Colin.
What's up, y'all? What's up, Red? What you got on my 40, homie? You already know what time it is. We'll get into the meat-based diet and yet another LinkedIn DM slide later in this letter, but it's time for the live listen and write in from your boy. Romantic vacations with your ex. Yeah, this one makes no sense unless you're just trying to win someone back. Ain't no way I'm spending that amount of money it would cost for 2 weeks in Paris. Flights are already between $900 and $1,800 round trip per person depending on where you're going. Speaking of vacations, what would be your dream vacation with someone you're actually with? I think mine would be a motorcycle tour across New Zealand or 3 weeks on a super remote island. Not sure where.
I think we need to take his piece by like.
That's what I'm going to do. But this is
long.
like, let me finish the paragraph.
Damn.
Not sure where. The West African coast has some amazing beaches as well.
Okay. Yes, that person was full of shit. There's no way in hell I'm gonna be in a new relationship and be like, hey, planned a vacation before I met you. Me and my ex gonna go to the fuck? No, absolutely not. It's the quickest way to get you cussed out. To answer your question, Greece has always been at the top of my list. I just think that it would be beautiful to visit, and I think seeing a lot of the ruins and shit would be awesome. Also, I think Ireland is pretty, and I like the way they talk, so I want to go and like go to like an Irish pub, an actual. I don't drink beer, but go to an actual Irish pub and just like, I don't know. Those would be my top 2 places to go vacation with somebody that I liked.
That you liked.
What did he say? I thought that's what he said.
That you're actually with.
With. Okay, somebody that I was with.
Just the same place?
Yeah, same places.
Okay.
I wouldn't go anywhere.
I want to go somewhere remote with great scenery with clear water. That's all I want to do. Those are my only requirements. One, I'm not learning a language going somewhere. I'm just not.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be somewhere where there's tons of people around where we, all with people the whole time. I just want somewhere remote with a like restaurant or two or a grocery where it's just access to food and a nice little secluded place where I can go out and just be in nature somewhere without a lot of people. I don't know what that is. Is that Netherlands? Is that like
the Netherlands? They speak Dutch.
I ain't saying I got to speak English. I'm just saying I ain't got to be around a bunch of like places that spread out enough where you can be out in the country. You know, where you take them long rides to get back into the city. Some shit like that.
It would be that way. And you would be if you had to interact with them. They do speak English. Ireland.
Don't they be? Ain't they having like some wars and shit over there
in Ireland?
Not wars. Maybe I'm talking about.
They have the whole Brexit shit going on still, but.
I don't know. One of them countries up there be having them same kind of conflicts that the Sunnis and Shiites be having the Muslims.
Maybe
that's just in the past.
Scotland and Ireland are I
don't know enough about that shit. I'm probably all kind of wrong.
Scottish people and Irish people are probably cringing right now because like they think of themselves very separately. But when I think of like Ireland and Scotland, it's like right there together and they sound alike to me. So I'm sorry, I don't know. But yeah, Ireland and Greece.
Okay. Let's see. Sorry. I put in Irish conflict and apparently they got this thing called the Troubles. I don't know why that's funny. I know that would be their way of saying that shit. Anyway, keep going. Democratic debate. Did y'all hear Beto try and speak Spanish? He's annoying to me now. He shouldn't be running for president. He should be running against Senator Conrad to get him the fuck up out of the Senate, especially after he came somewhat close to challenging Rafael Cruz, fake-ass Cuban trying to use Ted to be white. Cory Booker was looking at him like, when he brought up that Spanish. I don't know how to do eye emoji on the podcast, so he put eye emojis. My favorite candidates are Elizabeth Warren, Julian Castro, and Mayor Pete. What about y'all? I also like Kamala Harris, but I wish she didn't appear to have a position on every damn thing. She doesn't seem to have a message other than I'm going to do it all. Still, wouldn't be 100% here for another black. Would be 100% here for another black president. I agree with Mr. On Point about wishing her husband was black, bro. But I'll take it. Yeah. My favorite is Elizabeth Warren. My ideal ticket would be a Warren Castro ticket. I think that would increase the possibility of like that's gonna get some of the Latino vote.
Yeah,
but
a lot of it.
But the reality is, I don't think a lot of people think about this. A lot of legal citizen Latinos, they're Republican. They don't want illegal immigration either. So a lot of them end up being single issue voters because all they want is for the other Latino group to come in the same way they came in.
Which is understandable because, I mean, the fact of the matter is, even when they do come in legally, they still get a lot of shit because people who have an issue with illegal immigration look at everybody who look like they ain't from here. Yeah. Illegal. Like, if you look like you're from Mexico, they're going to assume you crossed over the border illegally. Yeah. So they probably put up with a lot of shit because of that. I could imagine being a legal immigrant for them is fucking difficult.
But so assuming that Julian Castro, that name that I was fucking up was Joaquin. I said Joaquin or whatever I said. But his brother's name is Joaquin. When he said it in the debate, I was like, that's that name I was fucking up. But
how do you not know Joaquin Phoenix? He's like famous.
I don't know him.
How do you don't know him? I
describe actors by what the name of their character was. I don't remember people's name.
I don't even remember what he was in.
I met this dude in the Dollar Tree. And he told me his name at the beginning of our interaction. I changed my name. And by the time we checked out, I didn't remember his name. He was like, all right, nice to meet you, Eddie. And I was like, all right, nice to meet you too. I just cut it off. Like, I really thought I remembered it, but I didn't. So it's something about my brain that says names are not important.
But Joaquin is such an odd name.
It is an odd name. Odd enough that if you ain't heard it enough, that it don't look.
It's Joaquin.
Yeah. Ain't no fucking silent J's.
It like Spanish. It's not.
In English, ain't no fucking silent J's. So excuse me if I ain't experienced enough Spanish damn names. That being said, I'm sorry to get. I got off in the middle of a sentence.
That's funny.
I didn't get off in the middle of a sentence. I got off on a tangent in the middle of a sentence.
God.
But I don't want to assume that Julian Castro will attract the Latino population just because he's Latino when he's a Democratic candidate and a lot of the Latinos are single issue Republican voters. However, right now the issue has gotten a lot stronger because it's not just about, it's about the fair treatment of Latinos now. So I think that I think this may be an opportunity for a Latino candidate or people with a strong policy for immigrants to start, But then again, in America, I don't know how many legal immigrants are dealing with the backlash of America looking at you and thinking you might be a legal immigrant. I don't know. But that's my ticket. Mayor Pete, man, I want him to be somewhere in there. But Mayor Pete, if y'all don't know, is having really, really big trouble in his hometown because they mentioned it during the debate. In his hometown, somebody got shot, a black man by a white police officer, and it hasn't been handled right. Mm-hmm. And they're blaming Mayor Pete, as they would any town leader. Yeah. And
they was finna fuck the Mayor Hoover up when that shooting happened at the mall. Yeah. They were picketing on his fucking lawn and shit.
That man's house.
They went to his home.
And Mayor Pete had another town hall, but it was mostly white people there. And a white man said, hey, I got a solution for some of these issues. How about we tell the black people to stop being violent and to stop stealing, and that'll fix the problem. Oh, God. And Mayor Pete clearly, he was like, well, sir, there's a lot of things that we need to do, but being racist isn't helping. This is a really hard issue, though. I mean, it's a difficult issue, but look, I don't know what he could do. I don't know what he could do at this point. Senator Swalwell said that if it's the police chief, then why don't you fire him? If it happened and you think it was wrong, why don't you fire him? Well, you can't do that without an independent investigation. Yep. And another thing he had a problem with is he fired the last black police chief. The reason he fired that last black police chief is because, now I don't know if this is right or wrong, but that police chief was intentionally recording his white officers to see if he can catch them saying racist stuff so that he can know who was racist on the squad. I don't know if that's right or wrong. Clearly you can't do recording people without their knowledge is illegal. You can't do that. So if he didn't have their consent, that was wrong. But I don't know if it was maliciously to try to. Yeah. No. I mean, with him, if he would have caught somebody, I don't know if it was I'm gonna catch him so I can make it look like they racist out here, or if it was really he was trying to maintain the integrity of his police force, and he wanted to make sure that they weren't doing that shit. I don't know. It's hard to know which is which, but anyway, let's move forward. Hair stuff. My hairline is about as bad as LeBron's, so I don't have any hair left. But man, this beard care routine is no joke. I need to get back on my regular routine because I have not been taking care of it like I should. When I tell you that beard shit is ridiculous.
First of all, LeBron has bought a new hairline for himself, so he good now.
When you can afford that, you can.
Yeah, so his hairline is no longer.
He can't do that shit forever.
He got money too. I wish Trump would do it.
What's that stuff when men be coloring in?
Beijing. How do you don't that shit sweat off when you have
Mike Epps on his Breakfast Club interview said that he tried that Beijing and his face swole up. He said he can't use that shit no more. He said he got a marker that he used. He said he gonna start marketing that shit on a brand.
That is terrible. I don't know why I didn't think about beard hair being like the hair on your head needed to be maintained, but until you told me that, I just assumed y'all didn't do shit to
I know you can tell the difference between when my beard has been tended to and when it hadn't been tended to. I know you can. It's blacker, darker, shiny a little bit because I got beard oil in it versus now where I've been laying on my covers and pillows and now all my beard product is in the pillows and shit instead of in my beard. Not only that, but your hair absorbs that shit too. Yes.
That's why satin caps, women wear satin caps.
Yeah, so over time, that's, but it take work to put this motherfucker together. Shit didn't come together like this on purpose. On accident. And now, meat-based diet. All right, so this story I hope doesn't get to a lot of other people out there, but I'll tell it anyway. Y'all may not know it, but me and old lady broke it off. Aww. Long story, that's for if y'all when I make a trip down there to eat a steak as big as my back. My back. So, yeah. We had this conversation before. When Colin get here, we're going to find the biggest fucking steak it is to eat, and we're going to eat that motherfucker.
I'm just going to be there.
Last time I talked to you about Jay Alexander, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I had a bad experience at Jay Alexander. But the GM did call me and told me that he going to send me a gift card tomorrow. At any rate, I'm back in these streets and back on my bullshit. I log into LinkedIn a few weeks back and get a message. Long story short, I was once upon a time supposed to get some head from this chick, but there was a complication in the form of a husband. Enter the cuckold conversation again.
Not what I was expecting.
So we start chatting, find out the husband is out of the picture now. Divorce was ugly. She's trying to get back on some bullshit since she was never in these streets serving up organic, non-GMO, fully vaccinated meats like your boy. After a few days worth of talking and texting, I get hit with, so remember that almost blowjob? Me, yeah, that shit was crazy. Her, still want it. Me, eye emoji. Ladies, this may not always work, but y'all need to go on ahead and increase your meat-based diet. As Cat Williams once said, if you won't suck your man's dick, we know a raggedy bitch who will. And this chick is not raggedy. Plant-based meat, by the way, is bullshit. Go on ahead and come get you some meat-based meat, ladies. I'll take your comments off the air. This concludes my hour one email. If I hear anything else, I'll send another. With meat regards, Colin.
Oh, Jesus.
Any ladies out there that want to know how to contact Colin, you send us an email and we'll go from there. Okay?
We're going to have to vet y'all asses, though. We can't set them up with no crazy bitches. We got to do as much as we can to vet. But
why can't he vet? Why we got to vet?
Because, I don't know. I wish I had somebody to
I don't want the responsibility of vetting. You see what happened with Trump administration? All them damn people that were vetted, they had all that bullshit. Hell no.
An idiot, though. We are not idiots.
But we ain't going to be, how we going to be like Colin, we vetted her, she's good to go, and we read a story about this nigga dead, stabbed by a date.
Well, let's hope it didn't come to that.
I don't need that on my conscience. You doing the vetting. I ain't vetting shit.
Now
you can vet.
Now I don't want to do it. You may seem
Colin
like
can do the vetting. We just the medium. I'm the middleman. I don't know shit about shit. I don't know how you got the product. I don't know the quality of the product. I don't know. I just get one thing from one person to another person. That's all I do.
I gotta get on LinkedIn. Is niggas out here like hitting bitches up on LinkedIn like this? Like is that
everything with a fucking inbox? Okay, this ain't the only place Colin getting DMs. It just might be the one that have the most valuable players.
Maybe
it's LinkedIn.
Like
clearly.
I think I'm on LinkedIn, but I don't never update that shit. Like it hasn't been updated since I got on there, and I don't even remember logging none of that shit.
Think about it. If you get a DM on Facebook, it's very possible that this man is hotel with no job.
Yes.
If you get it on LinkedIn, you can go look at his resume immediately.
True.
You can see where he been working at and all the shit.
Very, very true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Colin got some kind of military career, so I'm sure he got them connections. And LinkedIn is where they probably connect more than they do on Facebook. LinkedIn would probably be the smart place to connect outside of, like if you gonna sneak in some DMs.
I need to update my LinkedIn. May have to start over again because I really don't remember any. Because I think I was in college.
It's so confusing. There's so much shit on your screen at one time.
Yeah, and I think I was in college when I first set that shit up. I don't remember that shit.
We got one more letter, Michael. But it's a lot. It's really like he been sending Facebook messages.
He has,
and I really, really appreciate that. I like Michael's feedback. I like everybody's feedback. Yes. But Michael has that, British
dry humor,
perspective and humor on it. Okay, now I've got a bunch more comments. You asked where I was, now I won't shut the fuck up. First of all, I used to work on an IT help desk. We used the phonetic alphabet when reading out serial numbers over the phone. We all knew the phonetic alphabet. Everyone does. If someone at IT support is using it wrong, they're either new or they're fucking with you because they're bored. What we used to do instead of outright uncomfortable words is we used to use words that didn't sound right.
Oh, phonetic. That's what it's called. We couldn't remember what it was called.
Yeah. Like T for tsunami, P for pneumatic, and M for mnemonic.
That's rude. If you don't know how to spell them shit, you're going to be confused as hell.
Very. Secondly, on your podcast, you once said white people will not accept something as racist unless it involves a white guy pulling out a Klan hood and shooting a black guy while crying, "I'm doing this only because you're black. I'm of sound mind and body. I'm mentally coherent enough to sign a mortgage agreement, and my current activities should be judged as a reasonable decision based on my prejudices." This really resonated with me. I'm half white, my dad is white, and he's a member of a generation that saw race relations improve hugely over the course of their lives. Now because interracial marriages aren't the front page news and they start referring to African people as fuzzy wuzzies on television.
Wait, I looked that shit up. I looked it up. I did. So finish, and then I'm going to say what I had to say about the fuzzy wuzzies.
He's convinced racism is fixed. He's the guy who questioned the validity of someone telling his daughter she'd have to leave the country after Brexit as an example of a racist sentiment being expressed.
Rudyard Kipling. And I forgot what else. He's an author. Let me see what else he wrote. He wrote something that was much bigger than this. But he wrote a poem called Fuzzy Wuzzy. And apparently, I guess, people in Europe started referring to black people.
Damn.
Because I saw that and I was like, is he being serious? Like, that's a thing? Fuzzy Wuzzies is the thing. We were referred to as Fuzzy Wuzzies. What did Rudyard Kipling write?
Have you ever seen My Brother and Me?
The Jungle Book. He wrote The Jungle Book. Yes. Okay. But he also referred to black people as Fuzzy Wuzzy. It's like a particular it's a particular group. Let me see. I'm gonna fuck this name up. I mean, I'm just not. Look it up if you want to know, because I'm not gonna say it right. His Hadendoa warriors.
So he was racist.
He referred to it was a positive poem, but he called them Fuzzy Wuzzy. So I don't know.
It's probably something neutral that took on negative connotation. So now it's hard to know what.
Like this is what.
Okay. Have you seen My Brother and Me? That old Nickelodeon show.
Yes.
It's an old show. The dudes who played on the show probably all cracked out somewhere. But that's what happened. That's what happened when you
child stars. Yeah.
Oh hell. Sorry, that was my alarm. That's what happens when you get a show and it get canceled after the first season and nobody ever hears from you again on anything. But they had a poem on there. He said, "Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair, so Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he?"
That's a well-known poem.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No.
Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't.
I'm not cultured. Okay.
Fuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he?
Every time I don't know something, you be like, "Huh, you didn't know that?"
I'm not.
I don't know shit. I know what I know. I'm smart at what I'm smart at, and poetry is not it. If it wasn't itsy bitsy, if Disney didn't make a version of it on TV, I don't know shit about it. I didn't read growing up.
I learned that as a kid. I don't really know where it originated from. I feel like this is a good place for me to interject the racist shit that happened to me this week, and the first bit of me talking about white people. Because he's talking about how white people think it's not racist if it's not like wearing a hood and the shit. So microaggressions are what black people deal with on a daily basis, in case anybody listening doesn't know. It's the little shit that people do where you be like, the fuck is... Okay. All right. So I went to Target to buy some worm medicine because Kingston, I don't know where the fuck he got worms from, but he got worms. So, and I was already tired because I had went to a couple of different stores, and so arrived at Target. They had it for his size. So get up to the register. There's a white lady at the register, an older white lady, and there's a white lady customer ahead of me. Now, when this lady got up to the register, the cashier was like, "Oh, how are you? Oh goodness, what are you gonna do with this? Oh, well, you should do this, this, and that. Would you like to apply for a Target credit card? Oh, you already have one. Oh, that's amazing." So she puts her shit in her bag. Lady pays for it. Now this lady is paying her dust. This lady don't give a shit about her. She's just trying to get in and out. Okay, but she's just going all over the top. Hands her her bag is pleasant. She turns to me and the atmosphere immediately changes. Like, immediately. She don't say shit to me. She just scans the medicine, puts it in the bag, tells me how much it is. I like put my little thing in and pay for it. She hands me the receipt, not the bag. And the way that the bagging area of this Target is set up, like if you don't push the bag down or hand it to the person, then you're kind of like, well, what the fuck is my shit at? None of that. She did none of the shit she did for the lady in front of her. And normally I don't get upset, or normally it doesn't bother me. Normally I'm just like, okay, whatever the fuck, Betty. You just do what you need to, Betty. I don't know. That day I was like, fuck you, Betty. Like, the fuck? How are you gonna like all the way bring all of your enthusiasm down when I come through the line? So it ain't that you're having a bad day. Because if it was you having a bad day, old girl in front of me would have got treated the same fucking way. Like, what the fuck, Betty? Really? Like, I was so annoyed. I was so annoyed. And then I was talking to AC Blow, and I was telling him, you know, about what happened. And he has a friend of his that was in a Walmart. This happened the same week in a Walmart. You know how you go through those little self-checkout places? Mm-hmm. And so, you know, you stand and whichever one comes available, the next person goes to. So, like, the line stands, like, back so that you can see which one becomes available. So she's standing there. She is next in line. And this white lady just come around her and walk past her like she finna go. And she was like, ma'am, excuse me, like, I was next in line. And the lady was like, oh, well, I figured since I just had this one thing, it was okay. I was just going to go ahead of you. The fuck you think? Why would you think that you could do that? So she was like, no, normally if somebody's going to let you in front of them, they tell you that they're going to let you in front of them. But you know what? It's fine. Go on. Instead of the lady just going on about her fucking business, she gets like irritated, like, well, I don't know what the big deal is. I mean, I just have this one thing and I just figured it would be like, bitch, I already told you could go ahead of me. Like, how are you upset? You're in the wrong and you're upset at me because I pointed out the fact that you're fucking wrong. If that ain't a metaphor for being black in America, I don't know what is. Like, I was just like, I'm glad that particular thing didn't happen.
I was trying to remember something that happened to me that was racially related, mm-hmm. and I can't remember. I absolutely forgot. And a big part of black existence is experiencing so much bullshit that you forget about most of it. Because you got to, for the nature of your survival, it would just fucking frustrate you.
Well, and the fucked up thing is that in those instances, just from the perspective of a black woman, had I said something to Betty, I don't know her name, but she's too old to be Becky. If I had said something to Betty, then I would have been the angry black woman over, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like they do shit and it's shit that needs to be addressed. But like, if you address it and you're deemed to be like too aggressive, like, it makes you just not even want to say shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes you not even want to fucking deal with it, even though they be wrong as fuck. Even though it's some shit like cutting somebody in line and thinking that it's perfectly okay. Who in the fuck ever in the existence of man thought that you could just cut in line? Because I've been in a grocery store and had one thing, and sometimes the person in front of me will have 200 items and they'll be like, oh, you only got that one thing, just go ahead in front of me. And sometimes they'll look at me and be like, should have got here first, bitch. And they'll like go through with their 200 items and I have to stand there and wait because I got there after them. At no point I've never asked somebody to go in front of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just, that would not even cross my fucking mind. So like, for her to just cut her and not even say nothing, like not even like ask her, it would have been another thing. I mean, if she had asked her if she could cut, like if she was just in such a hurry, she just had, you know, would you mind if I went in front? She just like walked in front of her like it wasn't shit and was just gonna go on by her day like it wasn't shit.
That's called entitlement.
That shit is, it just, and again, most days that little shit like this happen, I ignore it because, it's just a part of being black in America. You just, this shit happens and you just be like, okay. Because if you say something, they're not, well, it wasn't because you were black, whatever. And it's like, okay, girl, whatever you need to do to sleep at night.
But that's the issue with race. It's subconscious.
Yeah.
And it goes back to what
Michael is saying.
What Michael's saying
Yeah.
is not overt, and they don't believe that they're racist
unless they have on the hood and all of the shit that he said like that. And that's frustrating to be on the receiving end of some shit that's not overt, but you know what it is. And it's like, bitch.
Like I say, white people don't believe, if they don't believe they are a racist individual, they don't believe anything that they can do can be racist. And that's just an unfortunate part of what we experience as black people. James Baldwin said to be a Negro in this country and to be relatively conscious is to be enraged almost all the time. We got to forget that shit. We got to brush that shit off. We got to not let that shit exist, or we going to be a whole bunch of goddamn Nat Turners around this bitch. Mad as hell because shit keeps happening. And the crazy part is they can't see it.
No.
They can't even see the shit that's happening.
Nope. And if you, again, it's like if I tell that story, I feel like to a lot of white people, they would just be like, well, maybe she was just having a bad day. She was having a lovely day with Becky in front of me. And that shit just immediately declined when she looked up and saw my black ass standing there. So no, I work retail. I know what bad day. And when I was having a bad, everybody, I didn't say shit to. Like, everybody was like, okay, let me get your shit through here so you can get the fuck out. Like, that was everybody. If that was the case, if she was having a bad day, then everybody would have got her little cold shoulder. You know what I'm saying? Like,
a part of me want to believe that I ask, where that energy go? Where the energy you just had with her go? Did I ruin your day? Are you triggered by me somehow? Am I buying an item that you have a really bad time with?
Cause it's like, damn, bitch, I've been here buying. And the thing is, most of the time when I'm buying something for the dog, a lot of times people are like, oh, what kind of dog? That's an easy, little mini conversations to have with, the cashier can have with, a customer. I was buying worm medicine for my fucking dog. I didn't go in there and buy a 40 and a thing of watermelon. I just don't, you know what I'm saying? I just don't understand. It was just very annoying. And I was just like, you know what? I'm not even going to say anything, because if I say something, then I'm wrong. Everybody going to be looking at me like I'm crazy. But it's it was just a very obvious change in her demeanor when I got up to the register. And I was just like, oh, fuck you, Betty. Fuck you, Betty. But yeah, so that just is to give an example to what Michael is saying about if it's not completely overt, white people, that's not racist. And it's like, okay.
I mean, what makes it racist is the patterns, how frequently it happens, how little it happens to people of other cultures, and the degree to which it happens to the people that it happens to. I mean, clearly when a police officer shooting a black person in a little isolated thing don't got nothing to do with race, but when you realize that it happens almost exclusively to black people and not white people in the same ways that it happens, I mean, if Fox News or conservative media really wanted to argue against the dialogue about black people being shot by the police, it would just be easy to pull out all the white people that have been shot by police.
Yeah, but they can't do that.
That are unarmed. They can't.
It doesn't happen.
It don't happen. It would be easy, but what they got to do is they just got to make black people seem like they're against the police. That's they continue to cause their rift.
Back to blue.
But let's continue. In the last episode, I started to wonder, what would Michael Jackson have to do for people to believe it's possible to be a good singer and a sex offender? Quotations here. I'm not a pedophile. I'm just in this room alone with this child I met. Oh, and the alarm system? You think it's weird I have an alarm system in this room along with this child? That lets me know if an adult is coming. Well, I'm shy. Not with kids, no. I'll sleep in a bed with a kid I'm not related to. I'm not shy with kids. I'll build a damn pirate ship in my backyard to lure, to entice, to attract, to encourage children into my lair house. No, that's not enough, apparently.
Listen, when I read that part of it, I immediately thought of Cole Jackson from Good Midnight. And the reason being because when, what was it? Something Neverland, whatever that documentary was that came out, there was some part in there where a kid or a grown person who is claiming to have been a kid victim of Michael Jackson was saying something about eating ass. And Cole Jackson was like, it's Michael Jackson. There's no way he eats ass. Why would he have done that? He Michael Jackson. He don't have to do this shit. And I was like, the fuck are you talking about? This is a man who built a whole goddamn theme park for kids. You think he was above eating ass because he could sing? Because he made Thriller? Like, that's not how that works. I can 100% believe that Michael Jackson did all manner of shit, including eating ass. But, like, he was just appalled that they would accuse him of that. Not, like, child molestation, like, altogether, but specifically the ass eating part. He was just like, no, don't believe it.
Cole Jackson definitely ain't finna like this part. The dude had sex with children. He was a cartoonishly obvious child molester. He was already practically running around with a big net and his dick out. I was born in 1987. I watched The Moonwalker and thought this particular child molester was amazing. I thought he would be too cool to hang out with and would have magic powers. I always loved his music. I'm an adult now, though, and can look back and say, this man was a pickup artist for the elementary school crowd. It doesn't mean that I'm diminished. It doesn't mean that Thriller was a bad song. It means that it was a song by a sex criminal. And knowing this, I now feel uncomfortable enjoying the song. The dude died of paying a poorly researched doctor to anesthetize him every night. He clearly had a lot going on that didn't match up to the cool guy spinning around the stage air fucking the front row.
Oh, Jesus. Listen, okay. Michael, you are hilarious. First of all. Oh, my God.
You okay, Red?
It's just so funny. I'm good. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, and I also have an old friend from school who's a swinger and gets lots of husbands who like to watch him with their wives. If you had any questions for someone in that lifestyle, I imagine he'd probably be up for an interview or mail correspondence.
Oh, my God. Please. Yes.
That would be interesting.
100%. That would be so interesting.
And we're going to keep going because Michael, he been absent for so long. He commented on a lot of shit. I want to get it all in. I keep remembering things I was going to comment on while I'm wandering around, and in this case, it was people's feet. I read an article about why people are sexually aroused by feet that answered the question for me quite satisfactorily. Okay. So there's this professor called Vilayanar S. Rakamakadran. I said that all kind of fucked up, but we're going to keep it at that. I'm not going to try to pronounce it again. Who's currently employed at the University of California. He's a neuroscientist famous for his work on phantom limbs. He came up with the treatment shown in an episode of House MD where Hugh Laurie gets a guy with phantom limb syndrome to put his thumb in a mirror box to trick his brain into relaxing the muscles in his amputated limb. Anyway, as a part of Professor's research, he creates a map of the body and the brain. That is, a map of which parts of the brain light up when various parts of the body are stimulated or thought of. The interesting bit is this. The genitals and feet are right up next to each other. So maybe a foot fetish can stem from poor insulation between these areas, meaning your genitals are stimulated by your feet being stimulated or you seeing feet. This seems to be backed up by some phantom limb cases where people with amputated feet were sexually aroused by touching the space where the lost foot should have previously been, or even achieved orgasm by just thinking about their missing foot. I'm not sure whether these people had pre-existing foot fetish, but I don't believe so. This, in my mind, also explains why men are more predisposed to having this kind of fetish. There are women out there that have this fetish. I've met them, but they're nowhere near as common. This now moves outside of the scope of white paper abstracts and into the realm of stuff that I reckon. That's British speak. I can tell.
I reckon
white paper abstracts.
Oh yes.
I don't know. I feel like I've never heard it. I reckon it's country.
Yeah, that's why I was like, what? I reckon it's not British.
The structure of the brain is sexually dimorphic, i.e., there are broad differences in the way that the male and female brains physically present. Like how you can broadly say that male shoulders are broader than female ones, but individual cases can be anomalous. If foot fetishes are down to the proximity of different parts of the brain and some insulation issues, where thinking of feet stimulates your genitals, then it would make sense that people with broadly different brain configurations would generally be more or less likely to have the fetish. I love me a bit of science, so excuse the dorking out again. I just have to say
That's amazing.
It is amazing. It's a really good explanation and understanding. But I just have to say that I have no idea how any part of you intersects. Like, IT people are not funny or into science. Period. You are clearly, but you're anomalous.
Yes.
So it's really big gaps between IT, science, and comedians.
Yes. But he's somehow...
How many funny scientists you know?
I don't know. Oh, other than Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's funny to me. That's it, though.
He's an astrophysicist. Is that a scientist?
Yeah.
I guess it is. It's a science. Yeah.
He the only one, though. Yes, Michael is an anomaly.
He's funny and rapey.
Okay, he is. We just found out about the rapey, though. I only knew the funny before.
But either way, one out of all the scientists that exist still, that's statistically insignificant.
It is. He's an anomaly. Michael is.
He definitely is. I'm like, you know this much about science. You're clearly good with IT, and
you're a comedian.
You're a comedian.
Hilarious.
So I mean, goddamn. Anyway, that perplexes me more than anything.
He hit the lottery of good characteristics.
Oh God, more. Please don't feel like I expect this all to get read out. Just thought you might find it interesting. Now moving from feet just yet. When I used to work in London, not moving from feet just yet. When I used to work in London at a fancy concierge service to the rich and famous, I used to be around a lot of fame hopefuls. Sort of people who idolized Paris Hilton at the time. It was before the days of Kim K. They used to talk about this thing called a Q rating, which measures how famous you are in the States. In the UK, we don't really have the equivalent, but there was a sort of sign you were famous. There's a wiki for people's feet out there, and it was a sign of being in the public eye if you were on there. So that's how I'll know my comedy career has taken off officially. People are sharing and rating pictures of my feet on the internet. And it's an article with a story about a Z-list actress who was kind of like scrolling the internet after Googling herself and found out that her feet was on this website run by somebody from one of those Arab countries. Mm-hmm. And it had celebrities on there. Emma Watson, Selena Gomez, they're at the top of the feet list.
That just is so fucking weird to me. Even with the previous explanation about the brain and how, this all can connect, their feet. I don't get it.
Well, I don't know. Finding out it is run by somebody from one of those Muslim countries where women are covered mostly. Mm-hmm. Key and Peele had a skit.
Oh yeah.
Where women were walking by and he was like, "Did you see that ankle?" And the other one was like, "Yeah." And then and they were just talking about the different parts of the body that you could see.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe that's a part of it for those countries, but
that's fucking weird.
That's interesting. But that takes care of Michael's letter. I appreciate y'all for y'all's input.
Yes.
Very valuable.
And we love to get we like to get input, even if it's, we had somebody before that was like, maybe I'll need to research it.
Yes, first off, she said research, and then she said, "Miss Don't Point, you can't talk," because it's Joaquin apparently, not fucking Joaquin or whatever you said. I am smart at what I'm smart at, okay? Damn, I am a country boy that didn't get a chance to watch TV or listen or read. All I did was go to church. And we know how accurate the church is when it comes to teaching shit. Not very much.
I say that to say, whatever you want to send in, we are happy to get it and respond to it. And we appreciate you taking the time out to listen to the show and make comments. So thank you, Tag, Michael, and Colin. If you have a question that you would like for us to answer on the show, you can send it to our Gmail account, which is conversationcardartist@gmail.com, or find us on Facebook, Conversation Card Artist, and send it to us that way. I guess we just gonna continue with the white people shit.
Really?
So, Hillary Duff. Do you know who Hillary Duff is?
Yep. Duff beer.
No, that's Simpsons.
I know who the fuck Hillary Duff is. Keep going.
Okay,
She's one of them early
Disney.
Nickelodeon or Disney child stars.
Yes, she was Lizzie McGuire.
Yeah.
So she had a kid with her. I think he was a hockey player, maybe football player. Anyway, she broke up with him. She with somebody new, had a baby girl recently. Well, 8 months ago. So she took this 8-month-old baby girl to get her ears pierced, and she posted a picture. And white people lost their fucking minds. They were accusing her of child abuse. They were talking about you've earned an unfollow. They were saying, well, how did she let you know that she was okay with getting her ears pierced and all this other shit? And I just saw this and I was like, white people, are you serious? Because it was white people. Because listen, and maybe this is something that I took for granted, and maybe this is something that's just like rampant in the black community. I got my ears pierced at like 5 months old. I don't remember that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've always had pierced ears as far back as I can fucking remember. I've had my ears pierced forever. All my friends in kindergarten had they fucking ears pierced. Okay? It happens early, 5 months. You can go to literally to Walmart, to the jewelry section, and they will pierce your baby's fucking ears. It is not child abuse. And the fact that like these people lost their minds behind this, it was just like, what, are y'all serious? Y'all are really upset that she would. Okay, first of all, the argument that she couldn't give consent, that the baby couldn't give consent. Do you know how many vaccinations and shit happens to babies when they fucking get here? Okay, and what about circumcision? Like, if you're gonna say that everything needs to wait until a child can consent to it, nothing needs to happen. No circumcisions need to be occurring. The vaccinations that happen, because they're kids, they don't say anything to. They don't say I want to be vaccinated, or they don't say I'm anti-vaccination. Like, what kind of argument is that? She had her daughter's ears pierced. Why are y'all this upset about this? Like, this is like the whole Aisha Curry shit when she said that, and everybody was like, "No, she's this and that." No, and I'm just like, "This is news. Why is this news?"
No, I think these things are different because with Aisha Curry, they took what she was saying out of context and applied it to whatever argument they wanted to make. You know, basically, she was saying, you know, it would be good to have some attention every now and then from people that's strangers. You know. Mm-hmm. They took it to mean that she want to fuck other people and Steph Curry, you know, she breaking the family. But she did that to herself.
She did.
She painted a whole good girl dynamic for herself and had them pick me dialogues.
She did.
And so now she kind of created that kind of criticism for herself. This is different. This is insignificant. White people have the luxury of being mad about shit that don't matter to anybody. Period. They have the luxury. We are angry about things that are you supposed to be angry about. Injustice, racism.
Let me read some of these, some of the things that like they wrote, the comments that were left, and I was just like, "Oh fuck it." So I'm gonna say these people's fucking names because they should be ashamed. Kate Bentley _ says, I can't fathom why you would think it's okay to have your daughter's ears pierced, causing her a tremendous amount of pain and discomfort. Was she able to ask you to have them pierced? Was she able to agree to have them pierced? Did she sit there with a smile on her face whilst a gun with a needle was placed on her ear? Did she say politely after thank you? Or did she sit and cry and scream, looking to you for comfort to make it all better? And tell me, how did it make you feel sitting there and watching her have pain inflicted on her unnecessarily? Mrs. _Maza _Grimley said, just want an unfollow after seeing you pierce her ears. Poor baby. Bye, with the waving emoji. T _CQ, I don't know how to spell that. Just wondering how she gave you consent to pierce her ears. Unfollowing. Han _fit_. I think you should have let your daughter make that decision for herself. There are permanent holes in her body and she should be able to make that decision. It's purely fashion. No medical necessity for making that decision for her. So I disagree with piercing baby's ears. But at the same time, don't be ridiculous, people. Saying child abuse is a bit far. Like, really, white people? I just the indignation at her piercing her child's ears is laughable. Like all of these like serious issues that are happening in the country, and the thing that you gonna get up, the hill you gonna down is Hillary Duff pierced her baby's ears. How dare she? Like, all right.
I wonder what's the overlap from people that think Hillary Duff is a bad parent for getting their daughter's ears pierced with people that are okay with children being in cages without beds to sleep in and their parents being told to drink out of the toilet for water. I wonder what's the overlap. You know what I mean? You know, on the Venn diagram, I don't know how much those groups are going to overlap with each other. These ladies might be tree-hugging Trump haters and don't support it, but I don't really know. But I just don't see how you can be angry with this, but you're okay with babies getting their meat cut up for the sake of it taking 15 extra seconds to clean under your turtleneck, your penis turtleneck. I don't know. Like, we've gone through a centuries-long process of cutting up boys' meat because it's harder to clean. Man, if you don't shut the fuck up, I don't think I'm gonna let my boys get their shit.
I hadn't thought about it.
I don't think I am, man. I don't want it to happen.
I don't want them. Cause like, okay, so yes, it is an unnecessary thing, but I just know from my experience as a woman talking to other women about how like weirded out people are about uncircumcised penises. I don't know if I want him to go through that when he gets older, having bitches be like, like, I don't know. I'm conflicted because I know, like, I've had conversations with women about, like, it's weird. Women don't like it. It's fucking weird. And it's only weird because the norm has been to have boys' penises circumcised. And so the majority of people are going to have circumcised penises. So, like,
it's uncommon. I mean,
it's uncommon for you to not.
That's where you got to communicate that shit. Like, it's certain things that you would just have to communicate with. You know what I'm saying?
Like, what conversation would you have with your son?
Not even with your son. I mean, I ain't talking about with my son. I'm saying, son, you know, uncircumcised penis ain't normal, right? You're going to have to let women know. You're going to have to ask girls at some point, have you seen an uncircumcised penis? Because it look different. Go Google that shit. And then know what I got going on. Just know that my personality is what shines. You like me for more than what you didn't know was in my pants. And this is like, if you had a micro penis.
Oh, man.
I mean, I know you risk a lot of loss by telling somebody that.
Lots and lots of loss.
But you're going to have to tell a woman, listen, I'm going to tell you right now, I am not packing. And not only am I not packing, I'm the opposite of packing. Like, I don't have a box or duct tape or the popcorn filler. I don't have anything to ship this to you.
I hate you so much.
I mean, I'm using packaging instead of packing. But
oh my God. But thing. Like, it just, when I saw this, I immediately thought of circumcision. I immediately thought of, you know, babies get here, and because we know that they can't block out shit, like, we have to give them all of this shit so their immune system, so that they don't get something and die. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so many decisions that you make as a parent before your child. First of all, at what age do you think that they would even be able to give consent? Okay, you think you're gonna wait? Because shit, they can't even consent to like a relationship. Is it varying from different states? But usually around 16 is the age. Like, so you wait till they 16 to where you feel like, okay, now they can consent to these things. Like, shut the fuck up, white people. She had her child's ears pierced, which 8 months is a little long in the African American community. Because again, about 5 months is normally when people take their baby. And I'm gonna tell you something. I don't remember getting my ears pierced. I don't. Like, so all of that bullshit about her screaming in pain and looking to you for comfort and all of this shit, I don't remember none of that. All I know is I've always had pierced ears. I have no idea when it occurred. I don't remember it. It is not some trauma that I have, like, from getting my fucking ears pierced as a baby. Like, I don't remember that shit. I just know how my ears have always been pierced. So, like, it just, that, I was like, all of the things that y'all could be upset about, and y'all upset because Hillary Duff fucking pierced her 8-month-old baby's ears.
I have a question related to the tangent that we just went on.
Okay.
Not the topic. would that impair your ability to be able to be with somebody if you realize that the only way that you were going to be able to get pleasure is from either their hand or head or
like if they had a
micro penis, or maybe it's just absolutely too big and you're not going to put that inside of yourself or go through that. Like, would you be able to be with one of those two people that you can't have penetration sex with and you just got to find other means?
I don't know. I don't know. And I'm more. I guess this is the meat positivity section of the show that Colin wanted us to have every show. But
I'm to ask the question to men: if a woman's like, for some reason it was just too small for you to fit, and you knew you could not have sex, will oral sex and hand jobs be enough for you?
Well, there are women that have pain disorders that they can't be physically. It's excruciating. Like they can't be fit.
I wonder how many men could be in that relationship.
I feel like it would be easier for me. I don't know why, and I know that this sounds terrible. I feel like it would be easier for me to accept a person who was too big and dealing with that than a micro penis. I feel like. Because so I didn't even know micro penises existed. My friend, my gay friend Jason was here, and he said something about a micro penis, and I was like, "Fuck is that? Like that's a thing?" And he's like, "Google it," which you should never fucking do. Don't ever do that. But I did, and I was like, "Oh no, that's really terrible and sad for anybody that has one of those." I feel like I wouldn't. I don't know.
I feel like a man with a micro penis could use a strap on and still get all of the.
It's still weird.
I mean, it's weird, but I assume that you say you need that because you still want the kind of contact and interaction that you get sexually of the bodies together. But yeah, you could get that from a dude with micro penis who used the tool. With the dude that's too big, you can't get that. You can't get nothing but sent to the hospital.
I don't know. And then the strap-on feels too close to me being a lesbian. It's just weird. I don't know. Hopefully
Why would it feel close to you being a lesbian? You don't like women.
I know, but it's a fake penis. It's not a real penis. So
does that mean that you're against using toys with your mate, your male mate, even if he regular size and y'all have sex all the time?
I don't. Why would we need to do that?
Because toys do more than what a man can do. Like one of them Hitachi magic wands. You heard of that?
No.
It's a big one. It's long. It's white and blue. One of them things. Use that thing. It's a wrap. Well, I guess that's if the lady is multi-orgasmic anyway. If she's not like multi-orgasmic and she just get one and done, you don't want to use that. It's not going to work out in your favor. Or cock ring.
Oh, okay. Yes, I've heard of that. But that goes on the penis, right?
It does. What I'm saying, but what about stuff what about using a vibrator while he's inserting? Like,
this is a weird conversation.
Of course it's weird for you. You got further in it than I expected you to, so I applaud you for that. It's just stuff to enhance the sexual experience that people buy, like those dice where it be like lick.
Oh, yeah.
You roll the dice.
Yeah. I've seen those.
But you don't want to play that if it got ass on it.
Yeah, no.
Unless you eat ass.
Then I guess you'll be fine. You'll enjoy that.
I'll play.
What's your first story? How the fuck we got on that from Hillary Duff?
You knew where we was going. You knew. You knew when circumcision came up. You knew where we was going.
Well, it was the best example of how ridiculous it is for you to say this about baby girls if you don't give a shit about baby boys having their dick cut when they get here.
Listen, man, I know this is uncomfortable stuff, but you're going to have some uncomfortable times in your life, especially if you plan on being a fucking parent, okay? You're going to have these conversations, or you're going to send your kid out with that information that he learned from a fucking 13-year-old. So you need to know how to have these conversations, what to talk about. We talk about them overtly, but we can have a fucking kindergarten version of this conversation. It exists.
It does.
You know? So I know it's uncomfortable, but if you listening and you're uncomfortable, how the fuck are you ever gonna talk to your children about sex and sex related things? Ever. So the Little Mermaid.
Man.
Have you did you see the Little Mermaid?
Continue with the white people shit.
Did you see the Little Mermaid when you was
did.
little?
I did. It wasn't.
Did
one
you
of
like
my,
it?
I mean, I thought Ariel was stupid because that giving up your voice to like walk on land, I didn't understand. And I was confused about why nobody else had an accent. Only Sebastian, like, under the sea. He was the only one. The rest of them just sounded like regular American. I didn't understand that, but I saw it. It wasn't one of my favorite Disney movies. I've only probably seen it maybe twice in my life.
For some reason, I was terrified of Ursula when I was a little kid.
She's scared me. She's a bad. You know, they make the little bad guys creepy. She's creepy. She didn't scare me, but she was creepy.
I was terrified. I don't know why. I think it's like one scene where it's a lot of like green smoke around her.
Yeah.
And she just looking mean.
Yeah.
I don't know why the fuck that shit got me, boy.
Ursula don't look like nobody you gonna make no goddamn deal with. That was another thing. It's like, Ariel, really? Huh? Did she look trustworthy?
Ariel was stupid.
Ariel was very stupid.
Disney made all the princesses stupid up until like after the 2000s.
Belle wasn't stupid from Beauty and the Beast.
Well, she could read. She read a lot.
She didn't go run off with Gaston, old bitch ass. Like she knew it.
She went and fell in love with a beast.
Bitches do that all the time. I can relate to that.
She traded her life for her daddy's life.
I mean, you know.
In the house with a beast. That is not what we would classify as smart. You said she didn't run off with Gaston. She ran off with. She didn't know what that thing was. When she did that shit, she had no idea that it was a curse.
She was saving her dad.
What kind of daddy let their daughters even do that shit?
He didn't want her to. He told her not to. He tried to stop her. She was like, I mean, I forgot what happened, but he did try. And he went back with everybody he went and told Gaston, and he's the reason why Gaston even came to the fucking castle in the first place.
I don't think she was smart. I think she just read a lot. She knew quotables. She didn't know how to apply none of that shit to life. That's what intelligence is. Intelligence is being able to apply the shit you've learned to life. I mean, if you read a good ass book and all you can do is tell me about it, but it hadn't transformed you into being a better person or learning how to do shit better than you was before, what the fuck is the purpose of you reading to me?
I think Belle was smarter than Ariel. Ariel's on the bottom.
Yes, she was definitely smarter than Ariel, but can we name a smart Disney princess?
Oh, Princess and the Frog. Tiana.
Before 2000s.
Oh.
We're talking about old ass shit. We ain't talking about...
No.
Clearly today's shit is going to be...
No, because Snow White was staying with fucking dwarfs that she didn't know and felt safe with them. And Beauty and... no, Sleeping Beauty. I don't really remember Sleeping Beauty too much.
Me either.
I don't know enough about her to say shit about her, so I don't really remember that story too much. Cinderella wasn't stupid. She was just had a fucked up stepmama and bitch ass stepsisters.
But we don't have any evidence that she was smart though.
No.
I mean, she got lucky as fuck.
She did.
Fucking fairy godmother. Like, who has fairy godmothers? Clearly in this world, she the only one. How was she the chosen one to get the fairy godmother? And what happened to her daddy? What happened to her parents?
So her mom died.
Dad got married to the woman, and the woman killed him?
No, he went off and never came back. So I don't know if he got killed.
Went off to go get some cigarettes at the corner store.
I don't think it was cigarettes from the corner store, but like I think they was robbing like them carriages and shit back then. Like something happened, he died. Like they knew he was dead. It wasn't like niggas that just like I'm going to get some cigarettes and never come back. He died, and that's how the stepmama ended up with the house and shit. But yeah, that's how she ended up living with the stepmama and the stepsisters without her dad because he left and got killed, and then she was just stuck there with that bitch of a stepmama. No, none of the younger or the older rather princess, all of them were stupid. None of them were smart.
She was she was not smart either.
No.
She because she just left the shoe. She wasn't even
Well, she was trying to. She had to beat all of the shit start turning back, so she didn't want him to see that. So she was like, "Fuck that shoe." I don't know why the shoes didn't
exactly
change.
Like, okay, so what we learned about this is if the shit is not touching me, it stays the same.
Like the horse turned back into the mouse. Like all of the shit turned back except for them shoes.
Convenient fucking writing. Everything. That one shoe. She only lost one, right?
She only lost one, but she had the other shoe, which is how she proved that. Because they broke the stepmama when that she saw that her stepdaughter feet were too big and wasn't gonna fucking fit, and she knew that Cinderella's foot was gonna fit. She broke it because it was a glass slipper, but Cinderella had the other one. So both shoes, the shoes were the only thing that didn't turn to nothing after midnight. I don't know why the shoes. Convenient writing.
Writing. And technically, with the Little Mermaid, talking ain't supposed to work on the water. No way. I mean,
well, if mermaids exist, then that would have to be.
No, it can't exist because words coming out is just air. Air would turn into bubbles, and we wouldn't hear that shit until it hit the surface of the fucking water. You can't talk in the water and hear it at the same time.
Well, crabs can't sing dance numbers neither. Like none of the shit is realistic in Disney movies. But yeah, Ariel was stupid. All of them were stupid. Wait a minute.
I mean, can white people even exist under the water? I mean, technically, if they that deep under the water, would they be likely to be white or likely to be black? Like, ain't no white creatures that deep under the sea, is it?
Most of them do. The deeper down where there's no sunlight, they get like translucent almost. Yeah, you would be more white probably than black.
Well, you'd be more clear than you would black.
Still, that quite closer to clear than black is. Like the melanin would not do well underwater, I don't think. But the fucking Little Mermaid is set in the Caribbean, which it never made sense that King Triton and all of the rest, everybody, her sisters, everybody was white, and then Sebastian got this black ass voice.
Listen, I'm just pointing out all the issues with the story being written because what's happened is Halle Bailey, which is one of those singing sisters,
yes,
that Beyonce signed, Chloe and Halle. And she has been cast to play Ariel in the live action Little Mermaid.
Yes.
Yay for black people. Apparently,
white people weren't feeling that shit.
What the fuck for white people? Okay.
They was mad as a motherfucker.
And I just don't understand. I don't understand. I am perplexed. I don't get it. White people are just very mad.
Shit has been whitewashed so much, and no, they don't give a shit about that. Elizabeth Taylor played Cleopatra. There is no fucking way that lily ass white Elizabeth Taylor should have been fucking Cleopatra. That's not what Egyptians look like. Like, ma'am, no. Okay, they had Tom Cruise as the last samurai. Like, it has happened across Hollywood. Like, they do this shit all the time, and they don't care. Nobody ever cares about that. But like when Zendaya was cast to play Mary Jane, white people lost their goddamn minds. Mary Jane is not black. Why would they do that? Mary Jane is white. I mean, it's like, really? Really? First of all, mermaids aren't real. So the fact of the matter is anybody could fucking play Ariel. And again, it's set in the goddamn Caribbean. What are the odds that this movie set in the Caribbean under the sea would have all of these white people in it anyway? That never even made sense. And let's not forget that Walt Disney was racist as fuck. So the fact that these earlier cartoons had everybody in them being white is not because the characters should have been white. And it's not even the fact that white has anything to do with the character. The story of the Little Mermaid can be told with an Asian mermaid, with a black mermaid, with a white mermaid, with a Puerto Rican mermaid. Like the race of it's a mermaid. It doesn't goddamn matter. The story doesn't change because Halle's playing the goddamn mermaid. It doesn't change shit. Y'all just mad because it's not a white woman. Because it wasn't. People were saying Ariana Grande. They would have liked her to be the Little Mermaid, but it's like it don't change the story. White. She is white. That's why they wanted her to be. Yeah, that's why they were like, right, she needed to play her. But like, I just get the fuck out of here. The race has nothing to do with that goddamn story. And again, Walt Disney was a very well-known racist. So Look at fucking Dumbo and them black crows. I've seen everything, but I sure ain't never seen an elephant fly. Get the fuck out of here. Like, the fact that all of them characters is white is just a testament to him being racist. It's not to the fact that the stories have to have white people in them. The story don't fucking change. It doesn't. So kiss my ass, white people. They started a Facebook group, Make Ariel White Again. Fuck out of here, white people.
You know, that group became a overnight sensation.
I'm sure it did.
And then it became an overnight troll sensation. It's more trolls in there now than it is people that really.
It deserves to be. It just like the whole white pride parade, or not white pride, Jesus, straight pride parade shit, and them having that group. Like, I just don't understand. You know, again.
I think I understand.
Okay.
I think that white people want everything. And want you to have nothing.
Yes, accurate.
I think for the worst white people out here who are constantly denying brown people shit, I think those are the people that have most Christopher Columbus in their genes. Because it's just about you. We want it all. We don't want you to have shit. Period.
And I mean,
and it's funny. It's funny to me that white people can't see race until it's convenient for them. When it helps you, they don't. When you bringing up a point about race, they don't see race.
Nope, like what?
But when it impacts something they value, ooh, goddamn! What is this? I'm seeing. Is this race? Oh man, it looks crazy. I don't like it. I want shit to be how it was.
White people playing actual living, breathing people in history that we know weren't fucking white. Okay? This is a cartoon based off of a mythical goddamn creature. Y'all are mad about this. Y'all literally have had, again, I go back to Elizabeth Taylor's Cleopatra. That was cool. Nobody give a shit. Y'all, that was one of her most famous roles that she played, being Cleopatra. That was a real fucking person, and we all know that she wasn't white, and y'all were cool with her being played by a white woman. This is a mythical creature. It's a mermaid in a cartoon movie made by Disney, and y'all are like, she's supposed to be white. Fuck out of here. Please. Please get the fuck out of here. Y'all are crazy as hell. Like, I just... And I mean, the same thing happened when Zendaya got the role of Mary Jane. People was mad. They was mad as fuck. They was like, Mary Jane is white. Spider-Man's girlfriend's not black. Even if it's a mixed race, because she's half white, half black. But that, she's just too brown. Mary Jane ain't brown in no shape, form, or fashion. So they got mad when they cast Zendaya as the new Mary Jane. Like, it's exhausting. Sometimes it's like, come on, white people, like. And so now they talking about boycotting the movie and shit. Okay, guess what? Black people going to see that shit. And now y'all have made it such a big deal that even more black people gonna go see that shit just because y'all mad. Just because y'all mad. The fuck?
I don't get it. I just don't know. I don't know where we go in society from here. Black people never be heard. White people don't never want to hear them. Black people call out injustice. White people say it ain't happening. Black people say, yay, we got something. White people say you shouldn't have it. I mean, how does that shit change? The only way that shit changes is it get too hot outside for white people to actually survive outside because they don't have melanin.
Shit, we getting close. This summer been terrible.
And because of that, they can't have any of the traditional jobs and roles that they have now. And so they have to retreat to the inside, or they have to be outside with hazmat suits on. And that's how we win. That's how we win society. That's how black people win society. It's going to get too hot for white people to exist. They're going to go outside and just start smoking and bubbling like the goddamn Wicked Witch from Wizard of Oz. And they're going to have to run inside, and they're going to look at us fucking being out there enjoying life. And I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. My conclusion is they're not going to let us have that shit. They're going to nuke our fucking neighborhoods. They're going to say, if we can't have it, nobody can fucking have it. No. Look at them out there playing. Look at them. Look him. They gonna out the window at the window just pointing.
Yes, angry.
Mommy, can we go outside? No, son, you're gonna melt. But they can't be happy either. That's what's going. That's what it. I mean, from when these things happen like this, that's what it feels like. It feels like we want you to have nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, what? They ain't even gave no consolation. They ain't said shit like, well, King Titan can be black and let Ariel be white. They know. They just now everybody is white. If they started off white in this country, they're gonna be white when I die. That's how it is.
And for the people who were saying, well, people would be mad if they made the real live version of Princess and the Frog and Tiana was a white lady. Yes, because she's the first time Disney ever made somebody black be the like, yeah, people would be upset about
how long was she actually black in the movie?
Like shit. Exactly. She was green for most of the goddamn movie as a frog. Y'all can kiss my ass with that. That would be completely different and y'all know it. So anybody making that argument about, well, y'all would be upset if Tiana was got somebody white to play. Yeah, we would be, because it took us how many fucking years to get a black princess? How many years? And again, Ariel is a mermaid. She could be anything because it doesn't exist. It's a fucking mermaid. I don't even know if mermaids exist if they would have race.
I just like to ask white people, name me a movie with a black main character where race didn't have anything to do with the movie. Go. They ain't gonna be able to answer that shit.
Hell no.
At all. Now we can answer that shit. We can say Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society. We can say a whole bunch of shit. They can't say nothing. They ain't gonna, because one, they don't know none of their movies. No. And I can't even think of a mainstream movie that had a black main character that didn't have shit to do with race.
No, because all of the mainstream movies that become popular are the struggle movies where it's very like the main character's struggle is being black.
I would say Space Jam, but Michael Jordan was not the main character.
He was not. Bugs Bunny.
The cartoons was the main characters. That don't count.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Shazam?
I don't even remember Shazam, to be honest.
I did. Horrible. I liked it. He had a scene where he made candy rain out the sky. Oh. That shit was cool.
I don't know, man.
I said Shazam. I meant Kazam.
Kazam. Oh, with Shaquille.
Wait, is it Kazam?
I don't know. I know what you're talking about. You talking about the one with Shaquille O'Neal as the genie? Yeah, but I don't remember if it was Shazam or Kazam or Kablam. I don't know.
Kazam.
I have no idea which one it was.
It was Kazam. Yeah, it was Kazam.
Okay.
Shazam is what Captain Marvel says. Not Captain Marvel. He used to be Captain Marvel. His name is Shazam. He used to be Captain Marvel, but they had a lawsuit and that shit changed. Anyway, go forward.
Well,
and prosper.
Go forward and prosper. So let's take a break and talk about white people, and let's talk about black people. So you know who Big Frida is?
Nope.
You really don't know who Big Frida is?
Is that one of the City Girls?
No.
Then no, I don't.
Big Frida is a. So I saw she has a show.
I gotta tell you. I don't know shit. This is the third time during the show you done hit me with that. You don't know what that is? God damn. I told you.
I feel like when I explain who Big Frida is, you are gonna know who Big Frida is, because I have two examples of music you've heard that had her.
So this is a music person.
Big Frida is the queen of bounce.
The queen of bounce.
The bounce music. She the one who it's just twerking music.
I don't even know what the fuck bounce music is.
Twerking music. So on Beyonce's song where she talks about taking his ass to Red Lobster. What is that song? What is the name of the fucking song? Y'all haters corny with that Illuminati mess. Paparazzi, catch my fly and my conky fresh. My daddy Alabama, mama Louisiana. You mix that Negro with that Creole, make a Texas Bama. I'm going to go through the whole song.
Formation.
Formation.
I just wanted to see how long you.
What's wrong with you? You just sat there and let me flounder.
Just wanted to see.
I'm floundering out here. You just watching. Didn't throw no life preserver, nothing.
Dead.
Formation. At the beginning, the talking that's happening at the beginning of Formation. I like collard greens and cornbread, bitch.
Okay.
That's Big Frida. Also on Drake's song, on his Keisha, do you love me? I can't think of the name of the song today for some reason. I don't know. In My Feelings. She was also the person doing the little ad libs on In My Feelings.
Is this a woman?
Okay, so Big Frida is.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at a picture.
Yes, so Big Frida is a man, and I never know which pronoun to use because I don't. So they're not transgender, and she had a show on it's like one of them like not really big network shows, but anyway. She is a man.
I was way off when I said one of the city girls.
Yes, you were.
I don't even know why I said that.
I don't know either.
I was thinking in my head, I was like, okay, the only stuff I done seen about anybody music related lately has been the city girls.
Oh, well, yeah.
I don't know one of their names. One of the city girls? I don't know.
No. Yeah, so that's Big Frida. She's
one of the city guys.
King of bounce. I think everybody refers to her as her. She says she don't really care. She's not transgender, but she don't care about he, she pronouns. Like you could use either one. But it is a man who's in a relationship with a man. It's a gay man that just happens to like to wear wigs and shit. And so bounce music is just, it's like, again, it's just her like speaking over like this beat that people usually would probably be twerking to. Like, yeah. So anyway, that's who Big Frida is. I said all that to say, even though you don't know who Big Frida is, Ben and Jerry's does. And Ben and Jerry's has teamed up with Big Frida and made an ice cream flavor called Booty Bouncing Beignets. Or as you would say, Beignets.
I wouldn't say that. I know what the fuck a beignet is.
But it isn't spelled the same.
Nigga, I bake. What you... Damn. I'm smart at what I'm smart at. Baking and pastries and shit is one of those things.
Booty bouncing beignets.
I don't pronounce everything fucked up. It just got to have a fucked up pronunciation, and I have seen it before.
They gave her booty bouncing beignets for an ice cream flavor. And I just thought that was
it ain't no way that
as
can
fuck.
be delicious as an ice cream.
It says chocolate ice cream with a bourbon caramel swirl and beignet bites.
This shit you gonna find in one store in New Orleans. That's gonna happen.
Yes, because she's from New Orleans. And I think bounce music don't make me lie, but I think bounce music originated out of New Orleans. But it's like, if you heard, again, she's on Formation at the beginning of Formation. That's her. And she's on Drake's In My Feelings. All of that talking that's happening is her. So that's Big Frida. But I just thought that it was very random as hell that they gave her a Ben and Jerry's ice cream. I was like, Big Frida?
Ben and Jerry's pretty woke.
Oh, not even that. It's just Big Frida's not... Everybody don't know who Big Frida is. That, I guess, like, City Girls would have make more sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody that's like, Big Frida's still relevant, but like, she ain't huge. Like, if you listen to bounce music, you know who she is. And again, if you remember Formation, you know who she is. But it ain't nobody I would expect to be getting no brand endorsement and no flavored ice cream from Ben and Jerry's. Not because she black, just because it's Big Frida. And it's like, all right, okay. So, yeah. Booty bouncing beignets coming to a store near you, or maybe not. If you live in the hood
in New Orleans.
Oh wait, well it's past, but Republic NOLA music venue is hosting. They hosted a whole event on July the 6th to celebrate the launch of the ice cream. So they had Ben & Jerry's is teaming up with the Queen of Bounce, Big Frida, for a day of music, food, and of course free ice cream. So they gave out the booty bouncing beignets. We will be announcing a new partnership together that will be benefiting local nonprofits. So
That's probably what it was about.
Yeah.
Because there's a whole bunch of people that got flavors of Ben and Jerry's ice cream.
Really?
Like Jerry Garcia cherry. So it wouldn't be surprising to me if they actually teamed up with those people for some kind of community events every time they gave somebody their flavor. It wouldn't be surprised. It wouldn't be a surprise to me. But who knows?
Everybody. So this, I'm looking at this on the Shade Room. People got a problem with them putting booty on it. Because they were like, booty don't need to be on a food product. It should have just been bouncing beignets. Booty bouncing is her thing. Like, shut up. You know that.
Why can't booty be on a food product?
Like.
What's your argument? What's your scientific reasoning for this? If it's just an opinion, shut the fuck up. If there's a scientific reason why booty shouldn't be on a container. One, Ben & Jerry's is a fucking private corporation. They can do whatever the fuck they want. They can name shit whatever the fuck they want. And if you don't like it, then don't buy the shit. Shut the fuck up. They can make the decision that they want.
It was a lot of like, I'm surprised. Like, I'm not putting anything that contains the word booty in my mouth. No, thank you. Like, really? All right. You know, be mad. But congrats to Big Frida, because that's huge. Again, especially considering that she is not like a mainstream, like, well-known. If you know who Big Frida is, you know who she is. If you don't, you don't. It's kind of one of them things.
Well, since we're talking about ice cream, there's this girl on a video on Facebook in Texas who was shown licking a container of Tin Roof ice cream, Bluebell. She opened the top, licked it, put the top back on, put it back in the refrigerator, and ran off. There's a dude in the background like, hey, lick it, lick it, lick it. She licked it and she ran off. They ran off and it's like, oh yeah. Went viral and they found the girl. And what I didn't know, because at first I was like, man, why is the legal system helping these corporations prosecute people on behalf of the business? You know what? If Walmart don't want motherfuckers fucking with their food, then they need to get better cameras and they need to choose to prosecute and then involve the legal system. But like, the law shouldn't be looking for people. That's how I was, you know, earlier talking about the story earlier this week. But food tampering is a felony in Texas. And I was thinking it's a really big issue because at certain points in our society, we've had issues where people would do shit to food, poisons and things of that nature, where it became a really serious violation where people was fucking with your food. Now, I don't know what can come from your mouth to, like, if I ate some ice cream that somebody licked, I don't think anything that can survive in a human's body can survive in ice cream. But the fact that she did it and the fact that we don't know what they would do next, I guess I kind of understand. I still don't like it.
Why, bitch? For what?
But they found that she's a 17-year-old girl.
I was 17 and licking ice cream in stores. Like, it's just stupid. Why?
But you did something stupid.
Not that.
But what did you do that's stupid?
At 17?
There's some other people that did some stupid shit that ain't what you did that was stupid. I mean, everybody got their level of stupid.
I guess.
And the reality is they probably thought this didn't mean shit. They thought this was just going to be a joke.
Yeah.
It's another woman on Instagram who did the same shit. She licked it and then put it back. Like, there's a whole bunch of people doing that shit. But like, she say she bought it too. Like, she was doing it for the shock value, but she got roasted so hard she had to take that shit down. But like, I don't know, man. I guess the next step for these companies, so Bluebell ordered all the Tin Roof in Texas to be removed in the state because they didn't know who this was or what store it was that they posted the video from. So they had every store that had that Tin Roof ice cream remove it from the shelves.
People get so mad when it be a Bluebell record. People love fucking Bluebell ice cream.
Who the fuck eat Tin Roof anyway?
What is Tin Roof?
I don't know. Let me look it up.
I don't know what that is. I can't really eat ice cream. So. Huh?
Oh, you can't eat.
I can't really eat ice cream, so I'm not like up on the flavors because I can't eat ice cream all that much. So
Tin Roof ice cream. Oh shit! Ain't number of stories about this woman coming up. It has a fudge ribbon and peanuts covered with chocolate flavored coating. Oh, chocolate flavored peanut. Who eat that shit anyway? What the hell?
That's somebody's favorite flavor. I don't know whose, but
People who like nuts.
sometimes I feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't. Almond Joy's got nuts. Mounds don't be.
That is the worst. That's the worst slogan ever.
Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't. Yeah, it is. If you look at it in that way, they are looking at it from the standpoint of actual nuts.
What?
You're saying that from like the sexual version.
No, I wasn't.
Why is it a bad slogan then?
Because it's just no thought into it. None.
Yeah, because Almond Joy has nuts in it and Mounds don't. So if you want nuts, then you can get an Almond Joy. If you don't want nuts, you get a Mounds because Mounds doesn't have it. And it's the same candy, basically.
That's not clever enough. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts, Mounds don't.
Why don't you just pull the fucking almond out of the fucking Almond Joy?
Or you
It's just sitting on the top.
Or you could just buy Mounds and not have to even throw a nut away.
Yeah. Mounds has just never had to exist to me.
Yeah, I'm not a big coconut. It gets stuck. I feel like you chew coconut like gum. Like it takes so long to chew. I just don't like the chewiness of coconut. I'm not a big coconut fan either way. So my mom used to eat Almond Joys though a lot, and Mounds. Sometimes she felt like a nut, sometimes she didn't. I guess sometimes she'd have both of those candies though. Are you done with that story?
Yeah, you can go to the next one.
So this I didn't say, but it just came to my mind and I needed to. So apparently, okay, first of all, I don't follow Lil Boosie because he's Lil Boosie. Fuck, I give a shit about Lil Boosie more. I don't care. He's not somebody that has anything going on in his life that I want to see. There's some celebrities that I follow. Others, like him, it's like, why? For what? So apparently he does this thing where I think it's Instagram Live where he gets on and he has like women on live with him and he'll be telling them to do sexual shit. Like, show people your titties and they do it because it's some stupid bitches out here. So apparently he was doing one of his regular ones and this girl was like mimicking giving head using a cucumber. And so then it was like the cucumber challenge where people were fucking doing this shit. And people got so upset. Like women were like, you need to have, more morals about yourself and that you're disrespecting yourself. And it's like, let's not act like, we don't have bitches out here doing like this has been going on since the beginning of the time. One of the oldest businesses is prostitution. Prostitution was going on, even prostitution mentioned in the Bible. Okay. So fuck out of here. That's been going on. Bitches been doing strange things for some change or for clout and for fame. That's just what happens. Like, why are you following Boosie? If you're somebody who feels like you're of this like moral, grandiose, if you that bitch, who are you following Boosie? I didn't know anything about this until people got in an outrage over it because I don't follow Boosie. Because I expect Boosie to have shit like women giving blowjobs to cucumbers on his fucking live. He's Boosie. Like, that's what he do. He's one of them kind of niggas. Like, why would you think it was going to be anything other than that? That doesn't upset me. I don't give a shit. Listen, if you're a woman who want to go and show the world you giving head to a cucumber on because you want the fame and everybody to, be fine, do you. I don't give a shit. I don't care enough about what other bitches do to, like, get in and up people over there. Now, I would like to believe that I would be able to raise my daughter in a way where she would know that that's not some shit she needs to be doing. But these other bitches, I don't give a shit would do it. Fine. Go ahead. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. It's fine. The same way strippers are fine. Prostitution. It's fine. I'm not going to be involved in it. Okay? That's my choice. But I just don't give enough shit, like, about other bitches doing it that I'm going to get up in arms about it. Like, who cares? Don't follow Boosie. He gonna do Boosie type shit. And unfortunately, this is Boosie type shit.
I mean, I got a question. So, when you wanted me to go to the pepper place to get cucumbers for you, That was not for any.
It was not because
sexual related.
I hope not, because them cucumbers were for my mama. So I hope my mama.
So maybe.
No,
you said your mama and your daddy ain't having relations.
That does not mean that she out here doing cucumber challenges. And she specifically said little cucumbers. So I feel like if you were going to do that, you want a regular size cucumber.
Why you think that? Some women are okay with average and under average.
But if you're going to be doing this for like people to be looking at it and for you to be getting all of this attention off of it, I would assume that you would just want a regular cucumber for that, as opposed to a little cucumber.
Listen, every man ain't blessed with major.
We're not doing this meat positivity.
I'm just saying, yes we are, because listen, some women know that they men's got little size cucumbers, so they do that with a. You think that a woman who got a man with a 5-6 inch meat got a 9-inch cucumber out here sending him that video from their private time? He gonna be mad. He gonna be like, "What you trying to say? Who cucumber you been putting in your mouth? Because that ain't my cucumber. That ain't none of mine. I got more like a gherkin."
It's not a private video. So let me ask you this, because as a porn connoisseur, is there a big market for porn for micro penises and little dick people?
Yes.
Or is it more?
It's more, but there is SPH.
What is that?
Small penis humiliation.
Oh, okay. So it's people making fun of these motherfuckers that have it. Ain't, but again,
it's because the men want it. Like the men are there while it's happening. Like the men are there and the woman just saying, "Look at your old little meat. That's why your meat little. If your meat was big, you'll have all the love, but you don't got nothing but little meat, so you get nothing." I'm serious as a fucking heart attack.
What
I ain't
the
even.
Fuck? I just people like no kink shame if that's your thing, but what? Anyway, I feel like the more popular porn is going to be the Lexington Steals, and the only reason I know who that is because y'all talk about his ass all the time. But I feel like
all the time is an over-exaggeration of what
y'all
how much
talk
we
about
actually.
him. Y'all mention his name.
It's hard to forget that name.
And it's Lexington Steele. But it's going to be more people. So if you're trying to get fame and you're trying to get more attention, you're going to do the big cucumber. You're not going to do a gherkin.
Yes. When you do fame, yes. I am talking about the women who would never, ever do this in public, but in their household would do this for their man in the bathroom. They don't
have nothing to do with the story,
But
though.
what I'm saying is, generally speaking, when I said when you send your man a video, the woman who man got the 5 inches, she don't got no 12-inch cucumber doing that shit. That's going to be disrespectful. She got a jar of gherkins. And she pulled one out, maybe 2 at one time, and she do that. I'm just saying, you think it's a lot of women out here who would do that stuff for the person they in a relationship with, but they wouldn't do it for nobody else.
I mean,
and they ain't out here trying to bust it open for Boosie
on live.
So I mean, and like you said, what do you expect?
It's Boosie's lot. Like again, don't follow that nigga if you don't want to see shit like that, or if that disgusts you, if that upsets you, if you feel like those women have all these issues and that they don't respect themselves. And just don't go to Boosie's fucking Instagram. Like, again, I don't follow niggas like Boosie because I fully expect them to have shit like that all over their Instagram and bitches with their ad like twerking video. Like, I expect that from Boosie because he's Boosie. And therefore, I just don't follow him. And when I heard this story, I wasn't outraged. I don't give a fuck. If this is what these girls want to do, cool. All right? I don't know what they've been through in their life that brought them to this moment in time, but whatever, okay? I'm not going to stand in judgment of them. I just not going to watch the shit. Same way that I'm not at the strip clubs all the time, even though I still want to go to amateur night because I just think that would be funny. I still think we all need to go do that. But I'm not out here at strip clubs sitting in the, sitting in one of the booths being like, these girls just don't respect themselves and these girls should be ashamed. Like, what? What? For what? I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Do you, okay? If that's what you want to do, you want to be on Boosie's Live and you want the attention that comes from that, the type of attention that's going to come from that, do you, girl. Do you. Not me. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't want that type of attention. I feel like you just going to get a bunch of dick pics in your DMs. But you know what? Hey, Maybe that's what you want. It's dick pics in your DMs. I don't know. And if you do, that's your business.
I need y'all to understand something. Okay, there is a very, very big gap between women who would do this shit on their live and women who would listen to you saying that it's not appropriate. There's a big gap. Y'all far away from each other. There is nothing you can say to them that's going to make them say, oh, I guess it was a bad idea. If you press start on your live with a cucumber on it and started ass sucking the cucumber, you're either too far gone or too confident in what you're doing to care about anybody else. And so for those of you who are criticizing and shaming those people, kink shaming or whatever it is, shame on you. Because you have a moral sense to feel something from me saying it's a shame that you're goddamn shaming people who, one, are doing what the fuck they want to do as people who can do what the fuck they want to do. And you need to mind your goddamn business.
The only way I would have had a problem with that is if it was underage girls doing this. Then I would have had a problem with it. Grown ass women that decide that this is what they want. All right, again, do you, girl? I wouldn't do it. Not my taste. But go ahead and do you. Like I don't care. I don't understand people like that get upset about that kind of shit or that look down on strippers and I don't care. And the therapist in me knows that most of the time people that are involved in these there's something that got them to that point. Okay, so who the fuck am I to stand in judgment of that? Okay, not my business, not my life. I just don't follow Boosie or niggas like Boosie. I just, for what? Why would you expect anything different? And the kind of people who would want to be on Boosie Live are going to be bitches that do strange things with cucumbers. Them the kind of people that's going to want to be on his live. Because apparently this is a thing that he do, like, regularly. And so there are girls that get on there and, like, show off body parts and shit with him in the background sounding like somebody nasty uncle. Show him your titties. Like, And I don't know. I just don't get upset about stuff like that. I don't care what other folks do. I don't feel like I need to be policing what everybody else fucking do. Would I do it? No. But it was not something that I was like, oh my God, those girls don't love themselves. Like, it got shit to do with that. That's shit to do with that. They grown women making grown women decisions. Not decisions I would make, but grown women decisions.
Nonetheless.
Exactly.
Last week we talked about Marsha Jones, which is the woman who we talked about being shot in the stomach, her baby being killed, the woman who shot her not being charged, and the Marsha actually being charged with the death of her baby in that. And it turns out that they have decided not to prosecute her.
Because Alabama, the only reason I feel like they didn't do that is because the bad publicity that they were getting. Like, if the national news hadn't picked that shit up, they would 100% still be prosecuting her, I feel like.
Alabama is booty hole backwards. Period. And the reason that I have given a big explanation as to why they decided not to charge her. I mean, they generally said that it wouldn't really be justice. But how come that determination wasn't made before this became a big story?
Yep.
I think what has happened is that she had a lot of outcry to her office about how unfair this was. And she's a black woman, so people saying, this is happening to black women all the time. And so she came out with saying, well, I'm a black woman in America. Y'all, nobody got to tell me the rate of what's happening to black women, yada, yada, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
But this is Alabama. They've had a lot of legislative overreach in terms of how they've used legislation that was written inappropriately. Like I was saying last week, they have a law for meth labs for children. It protects children if they were a child of a meth lab situation. But they used that law to prosecute women who were pregnant. They basically made the women's bodies meth labs because they used substances and the babies were still. So
what?
All of this set the precedent for that abortion legislation and what you're going to find a life as. And the crazy part, though, is that it's a lot of Marsha Jones who got stories like this, who people have tried to overreach on that, and she never got They never got national level, and so somebody's in jail for some random shit that they ain't got no business in jail for. This is why we need justice system reform.
Yep.
Period.
Last thing I have is just a goofy ass story. It's like, I mean, we all feel that way. We all get upset about this, but like, you gonna really sue? North Carolina man is suing Hardee's because he feels he didn't get enough hash browns with his breakfast.
Didn't get enough hash browns.
Yes. And I mean, I done went before and got like a large hash brown, and I'm like, hey, this y'all skipped me on some hash browns. But like, I would never sue. 58-year-old Tommy Martin felt the manager treated him unfairly and claimed his rights were violated when the Hardee's manager refused to give him the correct amount of hash browns. Martin, who is black, is alleging that the incident was racially motivated and said the manager and other customers at the restaurant were white. So they didn't give him his hash browns because he was black. So then you have shit on the other end of the spectrum with people that do shit like this.
Well, I mean, there's a process that you should go through anytime you think something is racist, okay? Let me tell you what the process is. First, can my problem be corrected? Okay, I didn't get my hash browns. You could say, oh, this because I'm black. Or you could say, hey, ma'am, you forgot my hash browns. If she gives them to you, fine. She messed up. If she doesn't give them to you, then we got to figure out the next step. The next step, did you pay for them? Okay? Like, if she didn't put them on your ticket, that's different. Now you got to say, add some hash browns. If you think it was on your ticket, but it wasn't, see now.
He got hash browns. He just feel like he didn't get the amount he should have got.
Oh, fuck.
He got hash browns, but he said they didn't give him the right amount.
I don't know. He's probably mentally unwell.
I mean, listen, again, I have gone to restaurants and like got like a medium fry or something and been like, the fuck is this?
I wonder how many times he's been to that restaurant.
I don't know.
What was the restaurant again?
Hardee's in North Carolina.
Hardee's. When did they even sell hash browns?
Hash rounds. The little round
How was he
ones.
seeing other people's, how many they had? The fuck? Listen.
They had a little crowns, the little hash
when
rounds.
it comes to fast food, you're really putting a lot of expectation on a group of people who IQ ain't high enough to have that expectation on them. For example, you're not going to get the same amount of fries as the people before you. You may get more. That'll make you lucky. You're definitely not going to get the amount of pictures on that box. You know, they used to overstuff McDonald's fry boxes. And that's why those little fry things, the scoops are set up like that so the fries be standing up. So less be in there, but it looked like more. Hardee's just ain't going to give you what the fuck you supposed to have, man. Just get used to it.
I mean, like, were there like two? Like, the only way I could see, like, and I still wouldn't sue about this shit. But, like, the only way for me to say something, if it's just substantial, like, if I get the box and it's 2 in the bottom, like, the fuck is this? Like, the
only way you're going to be able to prove that this was racially motivated is if when they handed you your box, they said, here you go, nigga. That's the only way, man. You can't just say, oh, they got more than me. This is racism. You're not going to be able to prove that in a court of law. Okay? People are going to say, no, it wasn't racist. And you already know the level of denial that white America is in. The judge is going to be like, okay, well, they said it wasn't racism, so it wasn't racism. If you don't have a pattern of this behavior plotted down on a chart, then I'm sorry, sir. You're going to fucking lose. You can't sue people for that shit. And this black in America, it's your best interest to forget that shit and hope they give you as many as you're supposed to have next time.
I just don't go to that fucking Hardee's. Just go to a different Hardee's.
But we can't reinforce that behavior. We can't let white people know that we just gonna stop coming there if they start fucking up with us. They're gonna keep doing it, and all black people just gonna be like, I don't know where to eat at. I guess we gotta go to the Mexican restaurant or the Chinese buffet. Japanese steakhouse. Sticks. Panda Express.
Sticks has this really good fried banana dessert thing. That's the only reason I would go to sticks anymore. Like, cause the food is not, it's overpriced to me for what it is, but that dessert's really good.
Chinese food is all made the same. Oh, yeah. Let me not say. Put like Chinese food use all the same ingredients. I don't know why you would have to go to Panda Express or PF Chang's or a fancier place.
The atmosphere got to be, because the food is the same.
Some people cook their rice different with it. That makes their rice so much better.
And sometimes a noodle, like I've seen lo mein noodles being different. Like the one over here, in that shopping center where where they put the new Big Lots, but it's got like the pizza place. I can't think of the name of it. Their lo mein is like, or no, not them. It's the one across from where I stay, where Sneaky Pete's is, whatever that place is over there. Their lo mein, Mandarin House. Their lo mein is like ramen noodles. Like the first time I went and got lo mein, I was like, the fuck is this? Because I'm used to a thicker noodle when I order lo mein. So like, I think the noodle size can vary too, depending on where you go.
Difference is.
But it ain't enough to be paying the amount that you gonna pay at a Sticks or a PF Chang's for the same fucking food. It's the atmosphere, I guess, and the name of the place. But food be the same. I've never like had Chinese food that was substantially greater that I was like, whoo, like it all usually tastes the same to me, no matter where I go.
So, last thing I got, and we wrapping it up, I guess. It's Nike. Did you hear about what happened with Nike? Nike put out a shoe, 4th of July edition shoe.
Okay.
With the Betsy Ross flag stars on it.
Okay.
And they pulled the shoe because Colin Kaepernick and other advocates said that this flag represents a time in American history where black people were 3/5 of a human. So this flag is not a representation of what America is today, and Nike pulled it. And conservatives got mad.
Of course they did.
Oh my God.
They burning their Nike shit again. This be the set. They got mad when they gave him a deal and was burning their Nikes.
I hope they don't have none no more. Be honest. I hope they got rid of all this shit. But the question is it right?
I mean,
how much of our history as America should we retroactively dilute because of what subgroup of Americans is?
With that argument, we shouldn't be still celebrating the 4th of July then, because we weren't independent then. You know what I'm saying?
Black folks really kind of don't celebrate the 4th of July.
I just like being off work. But I'm saying,
we celebrate being off of work
and barbecuing and shit. But I'm saying, like, if you're going to say that the shoe needs to be pulled because it doesn't represent what America is today, some of these holidays also, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got Christopher Columbus Day. Like, it's a lot of shit that's celebrated in America that if you look at it from the perspective of black folks, it don't have shit to do with us because we didn't matter for a long time. And some people might argue that we still don't matter today. But, like, I don't know. That wouldn't have been something that I would have been like, Nike need to pull that shoe. Like, I don't know. Like, I that didn't give me that response when you were reading it. Like, I was just like, okay, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't have been upset if I saw somebody I would have been upset the same way that I am about every time I see anybody. Like, and I know this is terrible. And it's not that I don't think that black people can't be patriotic, okay? But when I see vehicles with like proud to be an American or like flags and shit on it, I always just have like this like, let me just stay away from over there kind of feeling. And I don't know if it's because I live in Alabama and the Confederate flag has always been a big ass thing, and a lot of people who had a Confederate flag are racist as fuck. I don't know, but like anytime I see like overly patriotic white people, I'm always like, let me just stay away from this motherfucker. Or if I see like a truck with flags all over, I'm just like, oh shit. So like I would probably treat somebody that was walking around with American flag Nikes the same way as I do with somebody with flags all over they fucking all over their fucking vehicles. Like I literally inwardly cringe when I see proud to be an American or like flags everywhere. I guess I'm not patriotic. Or I don't understand like the super patriotic people, and I always just feel like I don't need to be around. I just, maybe not welcome around here. You go somewhere else. Just makes me uncomfortable. And I don't know if that's the conditioning of living in the South or what, but that flag shit is always like just yeah. I don't think I've ever owned an American flag. Like for what? Like people who had on flags outside of their houses, homes and shit. Like I never had that shit. For what? Like why? Fuck out of here.
I don't think that conservatives can have it both ways. You can't say that private businesses get to do what they want to do, as in the case of the gay birthday cake, where the people decided not to, or wedding cake, they decided not to bake the wedding cake for gay couples. You can't say private businesses can make whatever decision they want when it's convenient to your argument. But when Nike as a corporation decides to pull a design because of the people that, now it's a problem and Nike shouldn't have, did that because it was a stupid decision. They caved to Nike gets to have their own way of making these decisions, and they can choose to pull that shit if they want to. And a lot of people are saying, well, it's just the the liberal agenda and, liberal pressure and white guilt, liberal guilt, white guilt. And I'm like, man, it don't matter what you think it is. It's a private business. And if they feel like the population that they work with mostly would be offended by that, they get to change that if they want to.
Yep.
Y'all already told Nike we burning y'all shit. So why in the hell would they cater to your motherfucking ass? But a bigger question becomes, why didn't Nike have the foresight to know that this might be an issue? That's a more interesting question to me regarding this situation, but I don't know. It's just more the same with corporations not knowing what could be racially insensitive to a group. It's more the same. But that's all I got.
Alrighty.
You got anything else?
Do we have questions this week?
Well, we kind of pressed the time.
Oh, okay.
With the listener letter, so let's do the questions next week.
Okay.
All right. Well, until we come next conversation,
we out.
Holla.